Hey guys, this is Nightflame, and today, guys, I will be reviewing Batman Eternal issue number 52. Last issue of Batman Eternal, I really wanted to get into it and see how this shakes up the Batman universe, and yeah, let's see what I thought about it. So let's start the review. So the comic opens up with Andrew, I forgot his name, but yeah, he is Stephanie Brown's father. He is the Clue Master. So he is talking to Stephanie about how the city right now is a little crazy, and Stephanie's like, Batman will save us because she believes in Batman, but he gets a little mad about that because he hates Batman and he feels like he has the perfect opportunity to defeat Batman, and Batman won't see it coming because Clue Master is a nobody. So that's a really interesting thing, and that happens. So we find out that his plan is to basically contact the Court of the Owls because he found their location and basically get money from them in order to fulfill his plan. We find out that the Court of the Owls have been killed by Lincoln March, and Lincoln March is, if you guys haven't read Court of the Owls, he is presumed as Batman's brother. Yeah, but yeah, Lincoln March. He has killed the Court of the Owls, and he agrees to help Clue Master fund his plan. But we all know from last issue that he backstabs Clue Master, and he becomes the kind of like the head of this whole plan. So we cut that, and we have that whole battle between Lincoln March and Batman. The whole city is basically in flames. Everything is going crazy. Nobody knows what's happening. All the Bat family are helping as much as they can. And we see that Jim Gordon does something to kind of like uplift the morale of the citizens of Gotham. And what he does is basically he shows up a lot of bat signals in the sky to give power to the citizens of Gotham, because there is, Batman is not the only hero. Everybody in Gotham's are heroes themselves. So that lifts up the morale for many of them, and even Stephanie Brown, who she kind of gave up, and she decided to come back because she saw those bat signals in the sky. There's a really cool moment with Red Hood and Barbara, which I will get to at the end. But yeah, this is Stephanie. Basically, she ends up coming back, and she ends up punching Lincoln March in the face before he kills Batman, and then the whole Bat family gets into it, and Lincoln March escapes. He knows he was trying to be anonymous. He didn't want anybody to find out that he was behind this. So when everybody ends up finding out, he just escapes. We end up finding out that this is the end. This is how this whole thing gets accomplished. Lincoln March does not get killed. Gotham is saved by not Batman, but by the citizens of Gotham. They all had that thing in their heart, basically that willpower that helped them save the city. And it shows that Batman is not the hero, that everybody in Gotham could be the hero. So it's a really interesting, process or plot. So yeah, that happens, and then the story basically ends. We end up finding out that Batman has won, like always, and that's how the story ends. Then we get a bunch of epilogues at the end that will be tying into maybe, future Bat family storylines, or basically new titles. So the first epilogue deals with Vicky Bell. She is about to expose Jason Bard, I think that's his name, because he is really corrupt, and she wants to expose him because he is a commissioner and she does not like him. But he ends up resigning. I forgot. Oh, Maggie Sawyer takes over, and she is that woman's fiance, if they haven't stopped this. But yeah, she is Batwoman's girlfriend, fiance. So she ends up taking as commissioner of Gotham City, and Jason Bard ends up resigning, and he will help Vicky Bell with this new breaking story, since she will get to interview, Jason Bard. So that's an epilogue. Another epilogue is that, Catwoman, she has changed her ways, and if you've been reading Catwoman, the series, you know about this. But I feel like in this issue, she was, written more coldly. She was just heartless, and her main series, she seems a little like passionate, and in this issue, she was a little, heartless. So we end up finding out that she kind of did help the citizens of Gotham while all of this was happening, but at the same time, she was taking advantage of the situation, and she ended up stealing a bunch of valuables from businesses. So Batman, he knows it was her, but he won't say anything. He will turn a blind eye this time because she basically helped citizens. So then we get another epilogue with Batwing and the Spectre. They had their storyline in Batman Eternal, and we find out that the Spectre is open to basically letting Batwing join in the future. His team, Gotham by Midnight. I forgot what they're called. The Midnight Shift. So the Spectre really wants Batwing to join the Midnight Shift because they had some good teamwork in the past. So that I thought that was really interesting, and I feel like he will take upon this request since Batwing does not have a book ongoing right now. So I feel like he will join Gotham by Midnight. So the Midnight Shift. So I think that's a little interesting. I was really surprised by this whole story, and I will be picking up Gotham by Midnight after Convergence. But my favorite epilogue has to be this. We end up finding out that Barbara, she and Jason kind of share this whole thing. This whole kind of like moment during Batman Eternal. Batgirl, not Batwoman, Batgirl, she was just really mad when her dad got imprisoned. So she was trying to find out who was the one who framed them, and she was kind of going a little over the edge. So there was one person who stopped her and made her reason with this, and that was Red Hood. So they shared this little moment. I don't know in what issue of Batman Eternal it was, but they shared this moment. So we end up finding out that Red Hood, he really has feelings for Batgirl, but he doesn't end up confessing it to her. He ends up kind of deleting the message. He was about to send her some voicemail, but he ends up deleting that, and this does not get fulfilled. But I feel like this will be picked up upon in maybe Red Hood and Arsenal, or maybe Batgirl in like a future guest star issue. So this is interesting because I thought since Nightwing is not present anymore, or because he's a secret spy, I feel like this could work. I don't know, I feel like it could lead to something. They're really different, but that sometimes works. Like we've seen that in the past with Selina and Bruce. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So that was another epilogue, and I think my other favorite one was this epilogue with Harper and Stephanie Brown. I feel like this could be an ongoing soon, but if it's with this artist, I didn't like this art, but I thought it was a really interesting story. We had Stephanie, who just moved in to live in with Harper because her mom basically abandoned her and her dad died. So Stephanie, she is gonna live with Harper at the moment, and we see that Tim comes to visit Harper because they have a really good friendship going on, and he ends up meeting Stephanie, and they kind of share this whole tender moment that they may have a relationship soon. So I thought that was really cool because if you guys don't know, in the pre-New 52, Stephanie and Tim had this romance going on. So I think it's interesting that in the New 52 this could be rekindled. So that was great. And lastly, we got not lastly, but the second to last epilogue, we got the Court of the Owls, who are not dead. They end up finding Lincoln March, and they end up imprisoning him with that cold. They end up freezing him and imprisoning him, and maybe they'll let him out in a decade or two. So that was interesting. And lastly was the whole Commissioner Gordon and Batman getting ready to fight. The whole madness has been dealt with, and now we get into Batman. So yeah, that was the issue. I thought I gave you just the whole plot, so spoilers, but yeah, it's an in-depth review, so you guys would know. Yeah, I thought this issue was really great. I liked it. It was a fun issue. It definitely did not do many changes to Batman. It kind of made many changes to other characters. As we saw in the epilogue, we got that whole Harper Row becoming Bluebird in this series. We got Stephanie Brown stepping up. We got that whole romance between Red Hood and Batgirl. So we got many things from different characters, but not a lot from Batman. Like we had that whole thing from Maggie Sawyer becoming the Commissioner. So there wasn't a lot of changes to Batman itself, but there was a lot of changes to the Bat family. I thought that was great. Batman Eternal was definitely not something huge, tremendous like I think the Batman main series will do, since we saw that Bat Robot. after Convergence. So I thought it did many interesting changes to the Bat family and many interesting, hints on the future. I like this issue though. I truly did like it. I wasn't expecting a lot of major things. But yeah, it was really just a really good series. I like that whole thing with Stephanie stepping up. The art changed from those little epilogues, but I thought it fit right because we had Ray Fox. He was illustrating his own story with Spectre and Batwing, and he does write Gotham by Midnight, so I think that was fitting. So I thought those artwork were fitting. It dealt with the story itself. It didn't deal with like many, with one whole story. It dealt with many different stories. So I thought the artwork was fitting, and I think this one was the strongest weekly from DC, and I thoroughly enjoyed that whole ending. I loved it, and yeah, it's just Batman was great. Batman Eternal, I think. This series should be picked up at least in trade or something because it was just really good. So I gave Batman Eternal a 9 out of 10, and I thought it was just near perfect. The only thing I disagreed with is, as you said, even though the art styles were, different, I did not disagree with that. I think some of the art styles were a little weak, so yeah, I just didn't like the art style, so that's why I thought it wasn't a perfect issue. But I did give it a 9 out of 10, and I think you guys should definitely pick it up. It was just really good. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.